diabolical. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. So today I've got my review of The Boys Season 4, at least the first 3 episodes as they drop today on Amazon Prime Video. Here on out, the series will be going week to week. There could be some minor spoilers in here, but more so just going to give you my thoughts, how I'm feeling so far. I'm not going to go like recapping it, because if you're watching this, you've probably already watched the first 3 eps. Before I dive into this though, hit that like button, subscribe to that notification bell, and of course comment your thoughts on the season so far down below. And if you guys want extra content like reaction videos, commentary tracks, live Q&As, you can get that on my Patreon. Your support over there truly does mean the world. I'm currently watching The Acolyte. Yeah, I know. If you want to watch my reaction to that series, Patreon is the place to be. So when it comes to The Boys as a series, I watched Season 1 back in 2020, I want to say, leading up to Season 2 so that I could watch Season 2 as it released. Then I watched Season 3 when it came out. Never watched Gen V until literally a few days ago. I binged all of Gen V leading up to Season 4 so that I could be prepped, because in my trailer reaction I put out for The Boys, I'd say beginning of May, a lot of people were like, hey man, you should probably watch Gen V so you're caught up, it's part of the canon. I was like, I guess I should. Thank God I did, because I feel like I would be lost going into Season 4 with these huge concepts that are being introduced, like regarding the potential destruction of soups, and so I'm like, yeah, it's a damn good thing that I watched Gen V. But rolling into The Boys Season 4, my expectations, I'd say I was excited, but a little hesitant, because I do feel like The Boys is one of those shows that could end up overextending its stay. More on that later, potentially. But when it comes down to it, I'd say through 3 episodes of Season 4, there's a chance that it's the weakest of the season so far, but that's not a bad thing. I'm still in, and I'm still invested in this world. For starters, we pick up right where we left off at the end of Season 4, where there's this political warfare raging on within this world. The social commentary in this show is more relevant and timely than ever, because it's an election year in real life in the United States. We're gonna have a new president elected in November, so things are gonna be heating up just in the social media sphere of people butting heads online about politics, and this show really takes that and runs with it, as there's a political campaign ongoing with Singer and of course Victoria Newman trying to be vice president. So it goes without saying, shots are fired at everyone in this season so far, and it's done in the classic The Boys satirical style. Like, these 3 episodes are infused with that dark humor that we've all come to know and love with The Boys. Through these 3 episodes, it's really fascinating to me watching Homelander's mask of sanity essentially slip. Had to get an American Psycho quote in here, by the way. But he's starting to feel mortal, in a sense. His physical appearance and age has a lot to do with that, but also he himself just feels bored with where he's at. He's like reached the top of the food chain, and with his sadistic mind, he's like, I'm actually bored now. I want to feel power again. I want some thrill or excitement as a hero. And so he ends up bringing in the character of Sage to help him sort of create chaos in the world so that he can feel some sense of accomplishment and power. Homelander is also trying to portray himself as normal to the media. There's a murder trial ongoing after the ending of Season 3, of course, and he's got his son by his side, Ryan, now, so he's trying to paint this picture of a happy family, clean-cut, American dream family. I'm a superhero goody two-shoes. But behind the scenes, we as the audience, and like half the normal citizens in the show, are aware Homelander is a raging lunatic. And when it comes to Billy Butcher, played by Karl Urban, of course, he's dealing with his own issues. At the end of last season, he got the news that he only has months to live. And so far through these 3 episodes, we see Butcher coming to terms with his fate. I just don't envision a world where The Boys ends and Butcher is alive. I think we can all agree he's a goner. He's a ticking time bomb, his brain is at least. So I'll be interested to see how they close out his arc. But regardless, he's still carrying this guilt over the death of Becca, as well as the way he treated Ryan last season. Like, he so desperately wants to be that father figure to Ryan, and he realizes only has a few months left to live, essentially, so he's trying his best to make amends with Ryan in these first few episodes. And one of the biggest praises I can give The Boys Season 4, and even last season, is that there is this inevitable collision course between Homelander and Butcher. Both characters feel the need to be there for Ryan and be that father figure for him, but they go about it in vastly different ways. So those two are on a path to destruction. Who knows when we'll actually see it, but I'm so ready. And when it comes to the rest of the 7, A-Train is actually being poised to potentially have a redemption arc this season, as he seems burnt out, frankly, and almost fed up with playing this game and constantly lying. He's also weighed down by some of his own guilt, as he's really disappointed those closest to him, his brother, who trained him all those years. A-Train might just have a heroic sacrifice near the end of the season. That's my early on prediction. And then of course you've got the Deep being a total goofball. I mean, there were probably 5 to 10 memeable moments already from him. Like we know in season 3, the moment where he returns to the Seven, that was all over social media, and there's like 1 or 2 scenes I can pinpoint right now where you're like, yeah, that's going to be trending on TikTok in a matter of days. And again, big picture through these first 3 episodes, the story so far is a reflection of the world we live in with this raging political climate, people clashing heads, and it just so happens to be that Homelander is the face of one side and Starlight is the face of another. And a lot of these citizens have just lost their mind and worship these political figures. They've lost their own sense of identity in a way and just have given up their time and humanity to the bigger picture here, and it's really sad to see. There's also a lot of topical jabs at corporations. One in particular that is pretty obvious. I'm not even gonna say it here because you'll know it when you see it, but yeah, that's pretty par for the course with the boys. And as always, there is a fair share of crudeness, from nudity to absolutely graphic, disgusting violence and language. That's The Boys for you. Would it really be a season through 3 episodes if we didn't have all those things? I don't think so. And if I'm being honest, I do worry that there's too much going on through these first 3 episodes. Almost every single character has their whole entire subplot going on right now. You've got Hughie dealing with a medical issue with his father, and then his mom returns to the picture, so he's trying to deal with that. You've got Starlight trying to come to terms with the fact that she is almost the head of this entire side of politics in America right now. Frenchie has his own subplot with a lover. You've got Kimiko going to therapy. I mean, there's a lot to soak in just through 3 episodes. They all clock in at right about an hour long. So through 3 episodes, we have 3 hours of TV, but there's a lot to soak in and process here, and I worry with only 5 episodes left that they might not be able to bring everything together with like a conclusive ending where it feels satisfying. You also have MM as the leader of the boys, and all of his squad is just all over the place mentally with their own subplots, like I said. So that's leading to a lot of split up character groupings, and for me, I always like to see a squad of characters together, and so far they've been split up, which isn't my jam really. I prefer when we get to see our main group of characters together throughout the main plot, but again, there's a lot of time left in the show for them to converge. And the only new character I haven't really talked about who has prominent screen time so far is Firecracker, someone who is very clearly making fun of a certain side of politics in America, particularly those who are outspoken on podcasts on social media. It's pretty absurd. So with all these different character groupings and subplots being introduced, the pacing so far has taken a bit of a hit. Through 3 episodes, the show's a little too slow moving for me. It's doing a great job of setting up where we're headed. Homelander and Butcher on this inevitable collision course. They're both trying to come to terms with their own morality in a sense, but every other character from the boys has their own baggage, their own whole subplot going on that's probably going to unravel as we progress through the show. By the midway point of episode 3, the season was really starting to heat up, and then it's like, boom, you gotta wait 5 more weeks to watch the rest of it play out. I will die on the hill. I'm always a team binge watch guy over a team week to week guy, and I really wish I could have sat down and watched the rest of these 5 episodes play out right now. Especially since they're dropping them at 3 a.m. my time, it's like, damn, if you're gonna go week to week, you might as well drop them at like 8 o'clock at night so that we can all watch them together, but that's a topic for another time. The first 3 episodes, again, did a great job of setting everything up, and there's some really intense moments, but at the same time, it does feel like they're on cruise control, and then they realize, okay, around episode 5, we can really pick things up. I felt the same way about season 3. It was sort of a slower start until it really hooked me. I feel that way about season 4 as well, and my biggest fear here, again, I don't want to speak too soon because there's still 5 episodes left, my biggest fear with this season of The Boys is that it could end up just being filler. Not in the sense that everything that happens is inconsequential and has no value or meaning overall. More so, it's dragged out so that they can get to that final season, season 5 of The Boys, and that's when we can have some real fireworks and everything can come to a close. So far, story-wise, I feel like they could conclude The Boys with like a 10-episode season that is season 4. So in a sense, they could end the show with this season if they wanted to. That's my fear, is that we could just be trudging along through season 4 to get to the final season next year or 2 years from now. Is that going to be an issue with season 4? I don't know. We'll have to see the whole thing play out over the next 5 weeks, and that's the thing about like talking about a TV show this early, is we just don't know. Like, that's why I'm team binge. I could see the whole picture in one sitting, but patience is key, and I have to have faith in the creators that they'll stick the landing with the season. So far through 3 episodes, The Boys Season 4 has provided what I've come to expect with this show. It's crude, graphic, and doesn't hold back, but also it's filled with a timely commentary on today's society. There's some hilarious dark humor, and it's posed some deeper questions of morality and legacy. So it's safe to say I'm in. I'll be sat the next 5 weeks to watch the rest of The Boys Season 4. I really just don't want this show to lose its luster, because certain shows will go on too long and then collectively society will be like, oh, remember season 2 or 3 of this show, and then it goes on for like 10 seasons. I know the creator recently came out and said 5 is going to be the final season, but still, I just want them to really stick the landing with this so that we can look back fondly at The Boys. 5 episodes to go. I'm in. I'm curious to see where they're headed. But so far, it's by no means my favorite season. It's still too early to tell, though. But what do you guys think of these first 3 episodes of The Boys Season 4? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button. Also, please let me know if you want to see me cover the show week to week. I value your feedback, and if you guys like this video and there's a good response and you want me to keep talking about it, I will. So please let me know if you want to see me do weekly spoilers/discussion videos about The Boys. But that'll do it. Thank you guys as always for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.